The NCAA has been around for many years, and these athletes making millions for their colleges has also been around. Now, should these athletes be paid for the sport they play, even though they are on a scholarship and the colleges are being paid for?
A track coach at DTHS, and I'm interviewing, ask her a question about college athletes and getting paid. So, do you believe college athletes should get paid?
Yes,
And why?
because the college makes a big amount of money off of them, and they use them as branding tools to get people to come to the sporting events. And college athletes, like being an athlete is in college is like your job. You're putting in so many hours throughout the day, and it's hard to get a job outside of that. So might as well pay them.
Just in 2013, the NCAA March Madness event made more money than the NFL and NBA by broadcasting. With all that money, should these athletes deserve to be paid some of that? These athletes should be paid for what they're doing. They are branding their schools and bringing them a lot of money in.
Every college athletes practice every day, miss classes for their games, for their practices, just so the NCAA can make revenue off of them. So why shouldn't the players get a percentage of the revenue made off of themselves? If the colleges are getting ticket sales off of their players, why shouldn't the players get money for selling those tickets and actually playing the game to entertain those people that are coming to the game? Players would actually be able to afford a decent meal for themselves and possibly send money back home to their families. Many of these athletes come from low-class families and often leave school early because of the pressure to be the main provider for their family at a young age. Also, players wouldn't have to leave school early, and it would still be possible to pursue an education while taking care of their family back home.
Now, reasons college athletes shouldn't be paid.
I believe college athletes shouldn't be paid because college athletic programs can't afford to pay them. With all the money they bring in, the universities also send a lot back out. College athletes get sports scholarships, which is enough to help pay for other college expenses. The average athletic scholarship actually exceeds most schools' tuition. Being able to play college sports is a privilege. Wanting to play college sports should be just for the love of the game and not because you're getting paid. When it comes to paying the student athletes, there is no fair way to pay them. Students aren't professionals, they're also in school to get an education. In order to pay all the athletes in the main sports, it will cause universities to make cuts elsewhere, such as in other sports as soccer, track and field, baseball, softball. Also, the NCAA is a not-for-profit organization. Furthermore, college athletes are still very young adults and are financially irresponsible and can easily just waste their money on dumb things. People believe paying the athletes will stop the corruption of the system, but that is not true. The college athletic system will still be broken. Finally, if college athletes start getting paid, it would simply ruin the college sports industry. Most athletes play sports in college for two reasons: the love of the game and the chance to become a pro. If students start getting paid, the NCAA would just become one big business, and there would be no need to become a pro if you're getting paid.
Even though most of these athletes are being rewarded with free schooling and having a chance at becoming pros, it can all be taken away in a second. Having an injury so serious that can end your career can mean that you'd be taken off your team and have your scholarship taken away from you.
You saw it on the backside. If you can bear to watch it, take a look, but it's a terrible looking injury. Down.
Yeah, and that's a nightmare scenario for Georgia fans. Remember, it was on this field 2 years ago.
Risking their lives and scholarships are a big deal to these athletes because once they lose their scholarships, they lose their financial support they depended on and end up dropping out.
Yep.
Oh no, the left knee.
Oh boy.
You know, I say it all the time, Vern. These players lay their careers out on the line every play. Every play.
Now let's see what a high school athlete planning on playing college football in the future has to say about this topic.
All right, I'm here with Sean Carter, GTHS student athlete, and how do you feel about college athletes getting paid?
I feel like D1 college athletes should get paid because a whole bunch of schools are making profit off of them for nothing, you know what I mean? They don't get nothing in return. Like, okay, they get free college tuition, but the money they make off at college athletes compared to tuition is not no comparison at all. So I feel like in a sense, like, they shouldn't get paid like millions like NFL people, but they should get like a check or like, you know, during season at least, you know what I mean?
So just D1, not D2 or anything else?
Not really. I think just the big one, televised, all that, you know.
Okay. So if you were a college athlete, how would you feel about not being paid?
As D1?
As D1.
Honestly, I would be able to cope with it, but I would make it a discussion so the future athletes can start getting paid something instead of nothing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no
Intentional that we prevent these kids, these gifted kids who are playing a violent game, from being able to earn any money for 3 years out of high school other than room, board, and tuition. And I said yesterday that I, for one, if kids are getting money under the table, God bless them, because they deserve it. If these coaches that we've had on the show are what do they make, 5, 6, 7 million a year? The stars of these teams should be making 5 times as much money. I know that seems exaggerated, but that's how valuable they are to these institutions and to the NCAA at large. So in college football, if you're going to make them go for 3 years, why not have no rules, 0 rules, abolish your rules? If a booster at whichever school, dear old you, wants to pay X dollars for a big signing bonus to get Leonard Fournette to come to LSU or wherever it is, God bless him.
With all of the revenue that they bring in for their schools, do these athletes really deserve to be paid?